of Christchurch. Rahui Katini.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Māori Party is committed as part of the government, along with mana whenua Ngai Tuahu Riri Ngai Tahu, to rebuild Ōtautahi in all its dimensions. As such, we welcome these amendments to the tax law in order to support recovery and rebuilding of Ōtautahi. We commend this bill to the House.
Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to support this Canterbury Earthquake Measures Bill. As a one-eyed Cantabrian and someone who's lived in Christchurch all my life, I'm delighted that the budget put the recovery and rebuild of Canterbury right at its centre. The Prime Minister had promised us that the rebuild of our city and our province would be one of the government's most high priorities. And through Budget 2011, he has delivered on that promise. He said the government would do what was needed to make the rebuild happen over the coming weeks, months and years, and he is doing that. He said that he knew it was a huge task and that we need to have ongoing patience and tolerance from all Cantabrians, but together we will get it done, and we will. It is going to be a long, hard slog, but we will get there, especially now that thanks to Budget 2011 we have $8.8 billion in the kitty, 8.8 billion reasons to feel secure about the future of our province. This bill is needed to amend tax legislation so that people who so generously donated goods and services to the people of Canterbury do not create a tax liability. In the days and weeks following the earthquakes, so many people donated so generously to Canterbury. They donated to the people they knew, and they've donated to the people that they didn't know. They donated to their neighbourhoods, they donated to their employees, and I don't think even one of them thought about a tax liability coming out of that. The Canterbury earthquake of the 22nd of February was the first national civil defence disaster in our country, and the people of New Zealand and also the people internationally responded magnificently. And this bill will make sure that the people of Canterbury get the full benefit of that generosity. The main features of this bill include an exemption so businesses will not have to pay tax or gift duty on trading stock that they donated. It also exempts from tax welfare contributions provided by employers to their employees. And there are numerous stories of what employers supplied, things like washing machines and food and places to have showers and generally supporting each other. But it also covers two further matters. It extends the redundancy tax credit to September 30, 2011 and provides the Commissioner of Inland Revenue with the power in emergency situations to exclude certain income from counting for working for family entitlements purposes. They're all good common sense amendments, and I believe every New Zealander will support them. Over the weeks and months since the earthquake, enormous amounts of goods and services have poured into our city. Just last weekend, I visited a New Brighton hall where volunteers from the Buddhist Compassion Fund delivered hundreds of welfare packages. These packages consisted of blankets and personal necessities such as shampoos and soaps, and the package also included a blessing from Master Chen Yen. But they were also given a debit card with $200 credited to it. It was fantastic, and they gave out hundreds of these packages. So the changes in this legislation will mean that gifts like these, very, very generous gifts, will be tax-free. The cost of the Canterbury earthquakes is enormous. It's estimated about $15 billion, which is about 8% of our GDP. So it will probably be one of the most expensive disasters the world has ever seen, and a huge commitment for a country the size of New Zealand. And if we want to put that into context, the recent devastating earthquake in Japan is equivalent to about 3 to 5% of Japan's GDP. The cost of this is too big for Christchurch residents to manage alone, but it is manageable within the government's nationwide fiscal program. So the people of Canterbury really appreciate the support of all New Zealanders who have given so generously to us through the budget, and understand that this bill is just another way of them showing their support. I commend the bill to the House.
Stuart Nash.